Today, I am at a local neighborhood park, and my goal is to do a quick sketch of my view, like a urban sketching style sketch, very quick. And then I'm just going to try and draw as many people as possible. I did that last year, and unfortunately I was so distracted by drawing the entire park, I didn't get a whole lot of people in the shot. So we're going to try it again. I have like a picture in my head of like a bunch of sketches of people that all kind of like overlap each other because it'll be over a longer time period, and it's just kind of whenever they come into the frame. I don't know, we'll see. I'm going to use my micron pens to draw, and then I'm going to use the Albert Dürer watercolor markers to fill in color. Yeah, and I'm just gonna, this is a big experiment, this is just for fun. Okay, I drew a decent amount of people. Not as many, like, they were all kind of far away, so that was a downside, but I think I got some stuff in there. I'll show it to you guys in the light later, but as you can see, it is quite dark now, so I'm gonna go home. I am getting eaten alive by bugs out here, which I was not anticipating, but they're just like dive bombing me. It was 91 today, but it didn't feel that hot. So it must be rather low humidity right now. So this is what it looks like now that I'm home. And I let it have a little bit of time to dry because the watercolor always fades. I'm gonna turn the light down just a hair. There we go. Watercolor always fades when it has time to dry. That's just the way it kind of works. So now that I can see what it looks like, I'm gonna go in and make some of the colors a little bit bolder. There's a few shadows I'd like to continue to add in there. But for the most part, I'm going to leave most of it alone. I'm not going to go crazy with it. I was cracking up about how anytime I draw people quickly, they always end up looking like cartoons. It's like I immediately revert to like drawing Garfield or something. Like when I was a kid, I drew a lot of comics. So it's kind of funny. But I do feel like I need a lot more practice at that. I was having fun with it, but it is not easy to get people in those in-motion poses, you know. I think some of them were successful and some of them were a little odd. It's just hard to do, and I'm doing it in pen. So anyway, you'll get to see how those watercolor markers work. They're pretty cool. This area back here has too much blue, so I'm going to see if I can lift any of that up. I don't know that I can. It's like a phthalo blue, so it may just have stained the paper. We'll see. We need a few more darks in some of these trees. There's like a shadow back here that's missing, that without it, it looks a little odd. I wanted to add just thicken the shadow a little bit on this tree. Just really basic stuff, nothing crazy, honestly. Alright, I gave this some time to dry so that I would kind of like really have an idea of what it would look like because it always fades. Yeah, so I'm gonna call that done. You know, it's not the most like amazing thing I've ever done, but it has this kind of cartoony look about it, which I do find kind of fun, actually. Yeah, I like using the watercolor pens. They are nice. They work better on bigger pieces of paper, I find, though. Like, sometimes it's hard to contain everything in these little tiny areas with it. But I feel like this is just something that I would like to have a lot more practice with, sketching people. That is a completely different discipline. It's difficult to get something that's moving. Like, even just picking out a pose and then remembering what that pose looks like and then trying to draw it. It's just hard. So, yeah, I'd like to keep working on that. I've also found that drawing children is just easier. And I think it's because they're just like little and compact, and they kind of have like one shape for the most part. They're not so diverse in their shapes as adults can be. So, yeah, I think that is something that I would like to revisit maybe this month, maybe later, not sure. So today I am at the Rose Garden at Mesa Community College, and I honestly had no idea this even existed, and it's kind of funny because I definitely like took a few classes here like 10 years ago, just had no clue. It's kind of funny. It's a little early in the season for roses though, so I'm not sure if I'm actually going to see much, but I feel like I should be able to find something to sketch. So I have brought my Sanguine Pitt pens, and I've also brought my pastel Pitt pens because I found that those colors actually kind of go well together. I think it might be cool to do roses like that. See, there's some roses out here. Okay, well, I'll see what I can find. I quite like these ones. Very pretty. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to stand here and draw. There's not like a bench in this spot, but I don't necessarily need one. Oh, look at that nice little sunset over there. Oh, that's pretty. This is a brand new hot press notebook that I bought. It is the Lightwish one, and I'm trying it out. So that's part of what I'm trying to do here. Yet again, pretty sunset. Yay! So I'm going to sketch in as much as I can with a fine liner, and then I'm just going to get started painting. Alright, I've really run out of light, so I'm going to go home. This is what I have so far. Kind of see it. There's kind of enough like headlights around here to sort of tell what's going on, so it's not terrible. I did all that color with watercolor pencil, so I'm going to do more with this when I get home. It's just, it's too dark, and I'm being eaten by bugs. They are biting me. Okay, I'm back home. So I'm going to show you some of the things I had brought with me. I didn't get to pull all of them out. I kind of got a later start today than I wanted to. I just was having one of those days where I just couldn't get out and get going when I wanted to. So I had to just kind of work with what I had there. That was a cool spot though. I will definitely go back there because I've really been wanting to draw some flowers. And this has been the most disappointing March as far as flowers. There's just been no wildflowers or anything. It's been really like dry and hot. So getting to go to a flower garden was nice. And I will definitely go back there. From what I understand, next month is when the really like large bloom starts. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so what I have here, this is my new Lightwish hot press journal. It's got 140 pound paper, 100% cotton. It's got a nice little band here, and it's also got like the little pocket in the back. This is the name that comes on it, but it's sold by Lightwish. I don't know. Somebody else I had watched had used their cold press one and really liked it. So I was like, I'll get the hot press one because I would like to have a little hot press journal for watercolor. And I like the size is great. So it is 12 by 12 centimeters. And it's kind of the perfect size to hold in your hand and sketch with. I like that. So that's cool. Now, this is what I had with me. I have my pastel set of Faber Castell Pitt brush pens. And the pastel set is interesting because when you first get it, you're like, what do I do with this? But it works well if you have some good, like darker fine liners you're using it with. I, for some reason, at some point started using this sanguine set with it, and I think it's kind of a cool combination. So I've just continued doing that, and I do like it. I also have my sanguine pencil with me, and then these are the 4 pencils I have that go with this. So like Faber Castell does not make a pencil in this purple color or in this ice blue color, so it's just not an option. And I also had brought a couple of my little watercolor tins that have like some Daniel Smith colors in them. So this is this 3rd row here were the 3 that I have that go with some of these colors. And I may now have like a couple that go with those too. I have to look. It's been about a year since I played around with that, and I've got more colors. I also have this interesting set that I created that I do like. This one is meant, I even made little notes in the back. This one is meant to go with my monochrome sets. So that one would go, so that we've got, oh yeah, this is to go with sanguine, this is to go with sepia, this is to go with like the dark blue, the endanthrine blue. This is to go with black and gray. And then these ones are pop colors that I found went with some of these. So the Payne's gray goes with like all of them. And the sanguine goes with that blue really nicely, and also the green pretty well. Like these 3 all kind of go with it. And then the sepia goes with the blue, I think the green, and then I think sometimes the pink or the red. So I had kind of played around with these and just found them interesting. So I brought both of those with me. But yet again, like I should have brought like my little stool out there so I could sit. I should have started earlier though. That was really the problem. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to continue with the sanguine liners in the brush pen and continue making the picture. And at some point I might just like use that for like the flowers up front and then not for anything in the background, and just use watercolors in the background. I haven't quite decided yet. So I'm just going to keep going with this. I think it's pretty. I like it. I'm kind of deciding what is going to be the focus still, so I may not put nearly as much detail in the things surrounding it so that I can kind of keep the focus on these flowers, but we'll see. Okay, I thought I had the camera on, but I guess not. It's okay. So this is not done, but I need to let it dry a bit. And then I'm going to come back. There's too much, the green is too light. So I'm going to go in and darken the green areas up so that they're not like drawing all the attention away from the flowers. I like how the kind of like dirt in the background looks. I like that this has this kind of almost abstract thing going on. It's cool. But yeah, I think that the lightness of a lot of the areas of the green is just too much. So I'm just actually going to go in and add more pencil in there. Yet again, I thought I was filming and then it like wasn't filming. I don't know. I don't know what's happening anymore, guys. Well, I don't know. Not loving it. I have like really mixed feelings about the whole thing. I kind of want to just like take all of this green and paint it over with like a light layer of that sanguine color. Just to kind of like dull it down. Like the green is just like way too much, you know? It's kind of driving me crazy. So I think that's what I might do, and it might ruin everything. So let's see. All right, I'm definitely putting this paper through the paces. So we are going to see what it can handle. We're going to see if it leaks through right here where the binding is, which it could. I like this better. I mean, it's probably hard to tell because it's really reflecting a lot, but I think it's more interesting like this anyway. What is that color? Let's see. I want to say it's probably like transparent brown oxide or something. That is transparent red oxide. I am a fan of that color. I always am. It's got a lot of oomph. It's just, it hits you in the face. That one's, And it's kind of got that Sedona red dirt thing about it. Yeah, I like it. I was just kind of giggling to myself because when I was like, I've done a lot of photo editing in my time, and when you're trying to make a photo look good, sometimes like when all else fails, you just add a vignette. So I kind of feel like that's what I did here. It's like, put a vignette on it. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I am putting this paper through the paces though. I mean, I got it really wet. So we're going to see how that goes. All right, I'm calling it done. It's okay. It's not like, it's not my favorite, but it's not terrible. I like the movement. I think it's interesting. Now at least you focus on the flowers, which is where I wanted you to go. I do wish that I had had this green in a watercolor. I just don't really have a green that goes with that, and I guess I don't know, I didn't really want to mix one, because I just didn't really feel like I could get that kind of vibrance with the colors that I have. I don't know. Yeah, because it would have been cool to do kind of like a more wet and wet thing. I don't know. I'm probably just being picky about it now. I was thinking about it, like what would I do differently next time? Because sometimes they're just not your favorite, and you hit a point where you're like, well, I did everything I could do with it. I don't know. I mean, my favorite part is obviously the flowers, and it's like a very small part of it. So I think when I go back there, I will focus on making sure that I make the flowers just bigger on the page in general. Like, if I had made these like take up most of the page, none of this other stuff would have mattered very much. So that's definitely a thing to think about. Yeah, that would probably be the big major change. And yeah, the idea I had was interesting, but I don't think the execution was quite what I wanted. There's something there. It's happening. We're getting closer. But it's not there. I'll be going back and I'll be doing it again, I'm sure. Yeah. Now, I do like this paper. This seems like pretty good paper. I didn't have a bad experience with it or anything, so I'll definitely keep playing with that. Today I am at Freestone Park because I just want to paint a duck. So I'm hoping these ones will kind of stay still long enough. Let's see. Got a small pencil sketch here. A lot of them flew away, but I did get pictures, so I'm going to keep going. This is what I have. I think it's pretty good. I did a painted ducks mostly from the photo, so like I got the sketch of them, but then to get like their coloring and feathers and everything, I had to work from this photo I had. And I think that's a grackle. That one was pretty easy because those are just blackbirds, so that was fun. So I'm back home, and this had like 3 or 4 hours to finish drying. It's funny, you can see the sanguine from yesterday's like leaked through just a little bit where that sewn binding is. I mean, I don't know how you would prevent that. It's just going to happen. So it's just kind of funny. But I knew there was something wrong with this, and I had to try and figure out what it was. And I'm really glad that I took photos, because so when I was out there, I had to basically paint the ducks from the photos I had taken and that grackle, because they flew away by the time I started actually painting. So I was able to get them sketched in, and that's as far as I got before they flew away. But the nice thing about the fact that I took those photos is that I was able to look at them after everything kind of dried a bit and figure out what's going on that I need to fix. So the thing that's, of course, driving me crazy when I look at this is that the ducks are not popping out against the background. They're kind of blending in with it far too much. And so at first I was like, oh, maybe I'll take my fine liner and emphasize the outline on them and make it look a little bit more stylized. That could be an option. But actually, I think the real problem is that when I look at the photograph, this duck was very much in the light. And this one was like a little bit in the light, mostly in shadow. So there's a shadow here that's kind of missing. But the other thing is that in the background was all of these palm fronds, but within the palm fronds were a lot of shadowing, the darkest, deepest shadows in the scene, really. And so My thought is I have a couple options. I think that I'm actually going to take the brush pen and kind of outline the duck so that, and then use watercolor to kind of flow out from there. I might do the same on this one because I just don't think that I can get like the solid, dark, really deep dark color with the watercolor that I want. I want it to not distract away from the duck. And I feel like the brush pen will have a more solid coverage to do that. I'm not going to cover this whole back area that way, but I just want the areas around this duck and probably part of this duck to be really like much darker. And there's a couple areas in the water that probably could be darker too, and that would probably help this part pop out as well. If that doesn't seem to be right, then I might just use a fine liner around this part and just kind of emphasize it more. But I think that's the real issue, is there's not enough contrast. I also, this part down here probably needs a little bit of the brush pen. It's supposed to be darker. There's a couple spots that, while I was out there, it was difficult to get things dark enough or like make that judgment. So yeah, I'm going to play around with that a little bit. All right, this is done. It has had time to dry. I think all that definitely helped. It's much easier to read what you're seeing there now. I really was just, trying to leave the background more abstract to kind of keep it from being distracting. But in this particular situation, we just needed a good background. So it works. I'm cracking up because my favorite part here is the scrackle. And it's like the simplest thing. And it took me 2 seconds. Why does this always happen? Anyway, it's not bad paper. It's pretty decent for a little sketchbook. I don't mind it. So cool. I really tried to use the tendency of hot press paper to have those kind of like edges a lot, especially when you use a lot of water, to my advantage, especially on this rock. I really wanted this rock to have a lot of texture, so I feel like I achieved that. So that's fun. That was a fun day.